All right, let's see what that looks like. Hi, Kate. Welcome in. So, need to turn it this way. Hello, welcome in. Gonna get that giveaway going. Got some stickers for you. And all about paper today. We're on a how to fool Mother Nature. The idea that there's all kinds of things that are made from paper. And I've got some handmade journals that I'm going to show off, along with some buyer's choice piles of paper. So, welcome in, please. Let's get that giveaway going. Yep. And if you don't mind entering, then you'll get a little bit of discounted shipping. And go ahead and browse the buy now. There are a few brand new items. There's a few low price gift the chat items, other things that are like new. If you'd like any extra details on some of the stuff that you see in the buy now, just hit me up in the chat. Now, and you'll see a few items that are great for junk journaling. This is Junk Journal Raid Train. You can't fool Mother Nature. And a couple of the people that I'd love for you to follow. Our friend Constance is finishing up her show, and she'll find her way over here along with a few people. And then Salmon's Girl and Queen to Be Bohemian. Those are the two gals that help to organize these trains all the time. And we'll be raiding into Rebecca. So 30 minutes on the clock. A lot of fun looking at all kinds of different paper. So let me look at the first item that we're actually going to look at a couple of these heavier items first. Gets a little bit of that shipping out of the way. And I know some of you are good about planning ahead, so I have buyer's choice on some of these partial scrapbook paper pads. I've pulled out a few of the neutrals. I really tend to prefer neutral prints on each of these, but there's still a full pound of paper. So I have Winter Wonderland. I have summer theme like Life, Live, Love, super cute kind of beachy theme. This one is more of a traditional kind of planner, Monday through Friday, along with some positive quotes, getting it together. And there's the raid. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Thank you so much, Constance. There's a giveaway going. I've got some stickers that I'll send your way. And then every bundle will get some freebie items as well. And I wanted to just flip through a few of these really fun scrapbook paper pads that I have. If you're like me, you've got a little too many. And so if you're thinking ahead, I've got some for the holidays that are on the other side of summer. And I'm going to quick run buyer's choice. I'm starting these at $1 because this one I just got on sale, I think for $3 at Michael's. It's November. Let me run this auction for a full minute so that I can flip through and just kind of introduce myself a little bit. All right, so starting at $1, I know the shipping is a little bit high, but once you get that shipping out of the way, then everything else should be discounted thereafter. Thank you for the purple hearts. Those are so cute. All right, welcome in. Can you hear me okay? Let me know. All right, off we go. Buyer's choice on a partial pad. All of these are a pound or more. So this one is November, lots of warm colors. There's some script, there's some florals, there's some words. I absolutely love junk journaling with some scrapbook paper. And I also have one that's a little bit more traditional Valentine's Day and has a pink in there, pink graph, a few tags, lots of hearts. Okay. Here's one that is weekday. This is probably the one that has the fewest pages, but these are fun if you're trying to make your own junk journal planner or just a more planner style scrapbook or folio. This one is great for summer and kind of like boho fun, beachy. And Leo, what does it say for the shipping on there? It looks like $9. Yeah. Yep. And so I know that the shipping is really high on these. I'm going to go ahead and run them a little bit. I'm going to run them again at the end because if you start a bundle, you'll see that that shipping goes down. Okay. So we're going to run those again at the end, but I wanted you to know that I have them and I'm happy to share them for $1, but I absolutely understand that sometimes it's hard to start a bundle with the full $9 of shipping. So let's come back to those. And then I do have a bunch of my favorite spiral scrapbooks. So I think, let's see, the shipping is going to be similar for these. This one I will run for just 15 seconds. I mostly want to see the shipping, and if the shipping's too high, again, I'll switch them and run them again at the end. So, yay, giveaway winner is Raggedy Jack, sending some stickers your way. Otherwise, we're also running this. Look at these adorable pictures in here. I love using these old. This one is my favorite, I think, of the pile. That's why I bookmarked that one. 6 Steps to an Easy Perfect Pie. So, buyer's choice if you'd like a vintage spiral. This one is more handwriting, and love the pages that help to show the different sizes, the different styles and sections. And this one, the shipping's not too bad, $4.87. Let me know if you'd like me to run it again. Country Day Cooks, this one again, vintage. I love this print. There was a company that did these for a lot of American legions and churches. Some of them are inscribed. Merry Christmas 1979. Let's see. This was Wayne Country Day School and River Road Recipes. This one is a little bit more modern, probably 80s, but I usually try to bookmark, the fact that they have some really cute drawings as well. Okay, so those are going to sit in the auction again for a little while, and I'm happy to run it again if you like. But is it frozen for anyone else? Leo, is it frozen for you? Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, no, it's frozen. Ugh, fudge crackers. All right. Not sure what happened there, guys. Thank you, Jenny, for letting me know it was frozen. Probably don't have Do Not Disturb on. I think I got a text message or a notification of some sort. So, apologies there, guys. Let me show you one more time that I was doing buyer's choice on these adorable vintage cookbooks. So let me start that auction again. I'll do 30 seconds on the clock and just show you that there's a nice variety. This one is the more modern one with cute illustrations. Look at that cow. This one is an older one, and I absolutely love the way that these are formatted. This one is also super cute with mostly handwritten. And then this is similar, the ones where I love that formatting. Okay. And so I know that the shipping is, Shop 33 is interested in one of those, and I'm happy to show them in a little bit more detail. I have them bookmarked to some of my favorite pages. I love the 6 Steps to the Perfect Pie right there. Great deal. Which of these would you like, Shop 33? Would you like this one that says cookbook? This one we could call women's. This one we could call country. And this one we can call river. And I'm happy to show you the inside again. Number 3. I think that was, sorry, I don't know which one number 3 was. This one maybe? Did you want the one that was the handwriting? Perfect. Okay. Handwritten it is. That one's coming your way. Let me run it one more time in case somebody else saw one that they liked. This time I'll drop it down to 10 seconds though. Hi, Salmon's Girl. Welcome, everybody. Salmon's Girl is here. She helps to organize these raid trains, and if you would please give her, as well as Queen 2 Bohemian, a follow. Shop 33 is going to grab another one of these cookbooks because her shipping is reduced. What did your shipping go down to for this last one, Shop 33? So these are the ones that are formatted similarly. They have these really great pages with older print. And so this one we were calling cookbook. I know they all are. This one we were calling country, similar, but has more illustrations. And then this one is the one that's more modern. We were calling it river, and it too has illustrations, more black and white. 78 cents. Oh, awesome. Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. You said that one, please, and thank you. But I was looking at my cookbooks instead of. So is it river? country, or cookbook? And thank you for telling me that the shipping was only 78 cents for the one that was similar. We've got River, which is newer. We've got Country Day, which has the red illustrations. And then we've got Cookbook, which has the older illustrations. I'm going to let you tell me again in the chat, and then I'll pin this one while I wait for you to tell me. And older, the last one. Yes, this one is my favorite. Oh my gosh, I love these so much. And the only reason I'm auctioning this one off today to you is because I have so many that are similar to this one. So that's another great one. Let's put Hershey's on the board, and it was $5, but let me run that as a flash sale, 25% off, and I'll run that sale for a minute if anybody wants to grab this one. Okay, it's in the buy now, and there's other items in the buy now as well. Last time then, buyer's choice for these two. These cookbooks for $1 are a great deal, guys. It is hard to find some of these older spiral recipe books. Many of them got, greasy from where, and people just tossed them. They didn't necessarily save them. So this one has the red illustrations. We were calling this one Country Day Cooks, but I love all of these. Look at that. Sausage dainties, grapefruit, shrimp cocktail, cheese straws. Really fun piece of history there. And, okay, which one would you like this time, Shop 33? I'm going to guess that you want country. Yep, the red print. You got it. All right, and this one I will save for next time, and I will seed it with a few more. So bookmark my future shows, and I will have more cookbooks. Otherwise, I also have this one, I believe, in the buy now. And this one I had at $3. I'm going to go ahead and do 20% off on this one for 30 seconds. And one of the reasons I love this one is because it has the months of the year. The months of the year for different November, how to do voodoo. So it's really interesting because it's Jewish, kosher, Creole, monthly cookbook. It's hitting so many different notes, you guys. This one is really, really interesting. For the history, if nothing else. So that one is pinned and in the buy it now. I believe somebody picked up the Hershey's one. So I'll move that to the sold pile. And then I want to show you, before I run out of too much time, a couple of my handmade journals. I have 2 here, and then we can come back to some buyer's choice. So I love paper. I have always loved paper. I was a teacher for many years before I opened up my children's store, and I was known for recycling paper like crazy. So much so that when I would send things through the Xerox, they never were clean on the backside. My kids would always say, "Wait, which side do we use?" Because I believed in recycling and repurposing paper and reusing it all the time. Have always collected stationery, and I haven't used as much of it as I'd like because I don't always love my handwriting, but I got to get over that. And junk journaling is helping me to do that. So this first one that I'm going to go ahead and run and talk about, I'm going to run it for, let's do 5 minutes. Okay, so this is a nice long auction. This will give you time again to go through the buy it now, but I want to kind of count. I'm going to see if I can count as we go through it, the number of different kinds of paper that are in this junk journal. Okay. It's starting at $10 because it is handmade. It's 2 signatures. I didn't count the total number of pages. I can do that at the end if you'd like. All right. Here we go. So this one is simple flower arranging, and this cover comes from a booklet that was that size. I increased the size by pasting the booklet onto a thicker piece of paper that is actually a textured scrapbook paper. Positively love it. So the very first type of paper there, I'm going to keep track, is booklet paper, taking the cover of a booklet. The second type of paper that I used is scrapbook paper. So that's 2. Then the third type of paper you can see, we'll come back to what's in the pocket, is the pages from the booklet themselves. And I'm going to count the cover and the pages differently. I added a little tab here, just experimenting with, I believe that one was wrapping paper. So we're going to call that number 4. And then the signatures are sewn in. So they're sewn in here. And we've got book pages. I'll kind of group all of those together because there are a number of different kinds of book pages outside of the pamphlet pages. And I try to choose one that has a really nice picture for my centerfold. This one is Gladiolus and reminds me of the Gladiola Festival that we used to go to when I was little. So again, here's that wrapping paper. I took a scrap of it to make the tab. Poem book pages from poetry books, book pages from art books, book pages. This is from the pamphlet. So what I was super excited to try and do was save all of the pages from this pamphlet. I'm not sure. I've lost track. I don't know if I have them all in here or not. But I thought that would be an easy way. The signature's already made when you find a pamphlet like this, and there's so many that are mostly recipes and cooking, but occasionally things like gardening and flower arranging, all of the home economics that we learned, those of us that are in our 50s, 60s now, right? And so I think I might have been able to save each of the pages and then just insert these book pages in between. Again, got to double check. Recipe book, I'm going to count that as a separate kind of page. That's different than like a bound book page because those are recipe pages. Okay, there's a few more. And the back sides. Okay, there's a little flip out of, this is a book plate. So I'm actually going to count that as something separate because art books have the pages, but then they oftentimes will also have these squared off pieces of art, and you can find them for flower arranging as well. Japanese flower arranging was a really big hobby. Here's, oh, the texture on this one. This one is from a book about operas. Here's some scrapbook paper. I think I might have already included scrapbook paper here, textured versus this is a more modern one, but I liked the colors and added it in. And then graph paper or ledger paper, 2 different kinds, but this one is graph paper. And then it actually has notebook paper on the back. That's a really unique piece of school paper. And all the back sides of these. Okay, so those same pages, but folded in half. There's the second part of the first signature. Okay. Actually, whoops. I guess it's just the one. This one is just the one signature. The next one that I'm going to show you is 2 signatures. So I took the pamphlet and I think I kept all 32 pages, guys. I'm pretty sure I kept them in there. Not positive, but I'll double check. I'll double check later. Now we can look at the 2 pockets that I made, and I just glued a piece of the paper on top and included a few bits of, some of it's ephemera, some of it's just scraps. Scrapbook paper here, scrapbook paper here. This is actually fly paper. So fly paper is the really heavy, beautiful, often textured or marbled papers that are at the front and back of the book, the fly pages. So I'll count that as a separate kind. This is a flashcard, so that's a separate kind of paper, nice and green. And let's go back to the front and see a few of the others. Recipe card, separate from a recipe book. So I'm going to count that as a separate kind. This is a postcard. We can count that as a separate kind. This is a piece of a book page that I just kind of turned into a little bit of a note card. Dictionary pages, I'm going to count those as separate from other book pages. I mean, really, book pages, there's so many different types of paper. I could have done the same. And then that lighter weight scrapbook paper. So just in this one little pamphlet alone, I took a pamphlet that I got for $1, took the staples out the center, added a bunch of older book pages that I liked, that I thought were similar in theme, texture, or color, bound them with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, added a little bit of lace because I wanted to extend the size of the booklet without having to cut each of the papers, and it fits in there nicely. So I'm going to lower the price for that one, and if any of you would like it at half price, $5, 10 seconds on the clock. Simple flower arranging. It has some natural watercolor splatter on there, a little bit of texture here, and super cute, super easy, and I love showing how to do things. This is on my, thank you, Queen. Please follow and bookmark Queen's shows as well, and this is on my YouTube channel now as well. The only thing I've been uploading to YouTube is my whatnot shows for now. Eventually, maybe I'll get around to figuring out how to maybe do demos and put them on. All right, let's do another one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save this one, so I'm going to do another one. This is a 2 signature one, and I want to stuff it with some things. But let's do sewing patterns because I didn't show that that is another kind of paper. So vintage sewing patterns, okay, and this is going to be buyer's choice auction. They're starting at $1. As I flip through them, if you see one that you like, I'll do 30 seconds just so I can do a quick flip. I don't know if the patterns are complete, so they may not be able to be used for actual sewing of what's shown on the cover. Rather, I'm offering them as crafting items because the papers inside are so great, different textures for adding to your junk journals. All right, so 30 seconds on the clock and starting at $1. If you see one that you really want, you might have to bid more than $1. So super sweet little girls. It says 8 looks 1 pattern. This one is Bunny. That would have been cute for an Easter journal. This one, oh, that's Brooke Shields and Brooke's bedroom. This one's a little bit thinner, but kids patterns. Again, kids. Found all of these at the bins, guys, and I just grabbed them all up. I said, oh, I can put those in my paper. This one is thick. This is windows. These might be cards. Ooh, look at this. This one isn't actually sewing paper. This is cards. So I might keep that separate because it's not traditional sewing paper. The rest of them have sewing paper. If you want it, you can have it. There's that one. Look at the Raggedy Ann one. That's great for a Raggedy Ann junk journal. This one has some smocking to it. And this one looks like, ooh, Holly Hobby. So let me run it one more time in case you saw something at the bottom of the stack that you like. This time I'll just do it for 10 seconds. $1, buyer's choice of any of those. And if you wanted the one that's cards, this doesn't have any sewing paper in it, but it does have some nice cards. Looks like we're going to skip the sewing patterns. Thank you for looking. I'm going to put those in the buy now. Some of them, Holly Hobby and Raggedy Ann, I think that those would be really fun for some little Golden Book junk journals. I'm going to pin in the buy now so that you can gift yourself or gift the chat. I have lots of tickets. I have an entire roll of these tickets, you guys. And so it would be 2 dozen. So a dozen of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you would get 12 of each of this and this. If you would like that, let's see. I'm running that as a quick 10-second auction to add to your bundle or start your bundle. And then I also have them in red. Okay, so I have them in blue and I have them in red. Those are both in the buy now. Those are great little add-ons for any junk journal. Let me show you the wrapping paper next. Most wrapping paper is going to be Christmas themed, but I did something really fun with the wrapping paper earlier. You can choose 3 of these squares, and I did not measure out. Let's see if it's 8.5 by 11. Leo, you want to do that math for me real quick? What's 8.5 by 11 times 2, 4, 6, 8 squares? So 64 inches by 44? Does that sound about right? That doesn't seem right. 8.5 by 11 times 6. And these are some of your choices. I'll count them out. Let me do 1 minute. Keeping an eye on things. We've got 9 minutes left. All right, I'm going to count them, guys. And you can have 3 if you like. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That one is a little bit less. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's hummingbirds. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 butterflies, 14, 15, 16 hummingbirds again, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 to choose from. I have not opened them all up. Again, this was a bins find. And so I would love to share some of this wrapping paper with you guys. And one of the things that I did was I cut the edge. So they're already pre-folded in a way that you can cut the edge in the middle and turn it into a little zine. I love when things are pre-folded because then it makes it easy to turn them into a zine. Jenny, do you remember which number? If you don't remember which number, you can tell me which character and I'll flip through again. First polar bear, okay. And then you get two more choices. So polar bear. And I'm going to go ahead and run it again while you're making your choices. The flower print, so this one. Perfect. And as I just kind of flip through that way, butterfly maybe, flamingo, dove, what you think? Bird flower print. Okay, let's see. So there was this one. Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. It's running for 34 more seconds, guys. If you want to get your bundle going, $4 I know is a lot on shipping, but then you can gift yourself some of the dollar almost freebies that I have. I've got the tickets in the chat and in the buy it now. There's a few other things that say gift to chat. So one last time going through them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, 14 and later, saving those for later. Would anybody like me to run either the cookbooks again? I have the spiral, oh no, not the cookbooks. I have the scrapbook paper pads. Let's see if your shipping went down. A couple of you that have already started bundles. I'll just do it for 10 seconds. Again, it was buyer's choice for $1, you guys. This is a lot of scrapbook paper, and I know it's all about that shipping. So let's see if your shipping went down. 10 seconds on the clock. Buyer's choice for a partial pad. It's a full pound of paper. Winter Wonderland, Summer Dream. Weekday is a little bit less than a pound, I think. Valentine's or November. Any of you that have already started a bundle, can you tell me what your shipping is? Because mine still says $9 since my husband hasn't purchased anything in this show. All right. I will play with that shipping and see what $1.69. Thank you, Jenny. See, that's perfect. That's what I was hoping. So if I run them at the end of a show, then it's much less. All right, we've got about 6 minutes left. And so I wanted to see if there was any interest in this lovely junk journal. This one is a 2-signature journal. It's very similar to the first one. It's pamphlet stitched, and this time I repurposed, instead of a pamphlet, the cover is an actual book cover, and I really wanted to show you some of the fun things that I did with this one. So I'm going to start it at $10. I'm going to do a 3-minute auction so that I can talk about it. I'm not going to count how many different papers this time so that I can flip a little bit faster. But I wanted to show you that I used a little bit of like a Mod Podge or a glue paste and a thick wire brush because this was a glossy kind of ugly 70s cover. I don't love the glossy, but I loved the image. And so I just brushed. It has this lovely texture to it. I just brushed some glue water on it with a thick brush. Okay, so I was able to repurpose the jacket because the jackets are pretty thick. And then I lined it with a nice textured paper. Again, I think this paper was fly papers, the front and back of a larger book. These are just a few vintage plant book papers. Created a little pocket there and wanted to experiment with a square or I guess rectangle doily here. And then you can see it's 2 similar signatures. They're a little bit loose. I feel like I need to tighten them, and I didn't do it so tight that I can't go back and do that. Love to put a pretty pink image in the center, and then included a lot of different book papers. So here are a few of those pages. Just going to do a quick flip through. This is a little bit new. Didn't have a doily in the last one. Here's some music paper. Didn't have that in the last one. Here is some textured coffee dyed paper using, I think, a doily or something similar. Art books, This was an interesting psychology book, and it's textured paper with green print. It's about Jung or Jung, I think it's pronounced, map paper. But this is from a book, not from an actual like fold out map. Graph paper, that's new. This paper is from like a cross stitch book, I believe. So that's new. Here is the nice soft, silky smooth paper that comes out of like dictionaries, or this one happens to be synonyms. Again, coffee dye paper, vintage plant pages from the book that's shown on the cover, and then the back sides of all of those pages. Okay, and let's find where the next signature starts and do a little quick flip through. Again, more of the really pretty images there. This is unembellished in the sense that it doesn't have any tip outs or tucks or journaling cards. It really is just the simple signatures, but that's why it's $10. And this one is a really lovely textured paper. Again, these are the ones from the front and back of some of these great old art books that I take out. And then every now and then I can find a scrapbook paper that I like that tends to go with the theme. It's harder for me since I like these older vintage style papers. This is from a pad of notebook, poetry notebook paper. This is from Goodnight Moon, I think, actually. Art book again. Ooh, and then this one is new. We hadn't seen this kind of paper yet. And I wrote centerfold and then didn't go back and embellish over. But other than that, I'm really happy with this one. It just is ready to be embellished. And so I included a few goodies at the back. Oh, Mustang Patty, welcome. I didn't see you come in because I was looking at my stuff instead of the chat. So I am happily going to include lots more goodies for you so that you can start junk journaling, because I love all these textured and vintage pages. And check this out, guys, resellers. Don't throw away your labels, so that, you know, sometimes the labels, they only print on the top portion of the page, depending on your settings, or you have extra labels from before. This is a coffee dyed sticker label, okay? And they still keep their stick, you guys. And then you've got 2-in-1, and this too is from the Rolo paper. When we peel them off and we put them on the packages, keep those. They add this really nice crunchy texture to it. So Mustang Patty's going to take that one home, and I'm going to add some goodies to her stuff as well. We're getting ready to raid Rebecca in just a minute. Let me see if I forgot to run anything, or if there's anything that I can run again. Hi, AMAC. So good to see you. Thank you, Hazy. Yes, I really am trying. I love doing varieties of papers. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is a different table. We have moved again. We were in Malibu this time last year, and we moved in October, and we've been bouncing around from place to place because housing is just so difficult here in Southern California. So, hi, Graciela. We're actually leaving to head over to raid No More Beautiful. You know what? I have a beautiful pool in the backyard right now, so I can't complain. And now that we're settled into the new place, I do. We also have moved into a new storage unit. So I've been thinking about doing my kids shows again. You guys just keep an eye on things. We've got a big play coming up first, and I'm owing Rebecca a raid. So you'll just have to catch me on the next one. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's go say hi to Rebecca and make sure to follow and bookmark